Hey there, hello there, boys and girls. Elton McFall here on a perfect day to take care of business at home or if you're working, cloudy, raining, it's warm, but it's like so wet, there's no sun. So, anyway, 2 o'clock in the afternoon after 1400 hours. It's the day after Valentine's Day, the day of the year I don't care about. And yeah, man, so I finally got around to finishing this Mercury Marquis painting here, and I'm very proud of it because it's quite different from when I from not from the subject matter, but I've never done a painting of a car that was basically a shitbox, and which indeed this Mercury Marquis is, and one of my favorite movies, as we see here in a scene near the end of the movie with John Candy, which is the greatest Canadian actor there ever was, Mr. John Candy, who died too early in 1993. And yeah, here you see him behind the wheel of a 76 Mercury Marquis. And for some time, I wanted to, actually, quite a long time, I wanted to do I think even before I was painting, I wanted to even do a drawing of this before I started painting, like, full time, kind of, so to speak. And I thought, yeah, one of these days I'm going to get around to it. So I had no orders for other paintings, and figured, well, this is the time to get her done. And it's been probably more than 3 weeks I've been working on this thing. I think, again, really taking my time because it's not for anybody, it's really for myself. And as you can imagine, it posed a challenge in doing making the car dirty like that, to make it appear dirty and to do it at a nighttime type of setting. Actually, I made it probably a little more dirtier than I should have, but it doesn't really matter because the car's filthy, because it takes place in Chicago in the winter time in 1989. And of course, John Candy was, at that time, highly in demand in other movies too, having found his first success in SCTV, Second City Television, in the early 80s. So I always wondered, of course, and even searched to see if I could. Well, when I found the picture I wanted to use for the movie, for the painting, which is this one here, as I mentioned before, I always wondered, like, did this car survive? Is it sitting in a barn somewhere, or or maybe it just was scrapped because it was 14 years old, gas guzzling, and already way out of date type of car, not hip because it's just gigantic compared to 1989 standards, where full size cars weren't even that big anymore. And yeah, actually, just to get the color of that body, actually, I did a couple of coats of this dark red mixed in red with black, and I'm like, what, it doesn't look right. And I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at this Marquina painting, and I'm like, shit, you know what? This is almost like a candy apple red, actually. So I found this kind of like a pinkish red color. I think it was this one I used right here. This yeah, Crimson there, which reminds me of one of my favorite songs, Crimson and Clovers. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to do the smoke. I forgot to do the smoke. Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to do that right after. I can't believe I left that out. Jesus Murphy. Well, I'm gonna have to take care of that, like, right away. Yeah. That's not a good, that's just gonna take a couple of minutes anyway. Give you a different view here out of the glare of the lamp. Kind of like, yeah, it's not that easy, eh? Because you have this, extra white balancing kind of jazz here. So anyway, if you're interested in this painting, 250 bucks shipping included here in Canada or the US. Would be a bit more, obviously, if it was going overseas. And obviously, because you can see there's waves in the canvas, I'm gonna have to set it flat somewhere upside down and put a little water on it so the water smooths out all those waves. You can see them here, 16 by 20. And yeah, geez, I can't believe I had a couple of people, even a couple of friends, even mentioned, they're like, yeah, you're gonna put the smoke from the back. I'm like, yeah, 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 and I just got a rushing to finish it. So yeah, that's it. And of course, I'd like to take this opportunity, as I always do when I do a painting, that if you would like to have your classic car or truck or a van, or pick a, do a painting of, it's minimum $200. And I say minimum because obviously if it's something like a limousine or a paint or a bus, something much bigger, a plane, well, there's more work involved probably. Well, not probably, I know for sure, but you can tell by my bus here, right? I'm not asking you 800 bucks for this thing for nothing. and it'll be on the same size canvas like that, and full color detail, and yeah, it'd be a pleasure. It doesn't matter if you have a Pinto or a Di Tommaso Pantera. No, just something that came to me. And on that note, not too long a video. Thanks again, guys, for watching. And I always appreciate your kind comments, nice comments, and intuitive comments, helpful comments. And again, if I'm doing a painting for you, look, it doesn't have to be a car you have. Obviously, it could be something your dream car, or like for example, one of my fans, Marlene, out in BC, there in West Vancouver, she had me paint last fall, I think it was a few months back. It was a fire truck ladder for her from her area, but that was not a cheap painting, by the way. I mean that was like shipping included. I think it was $500. So there's tons of work in that. So when I say minimum for painting, that's 16 by 20 inches for a car or a van, something like. But if it's something larger, it's going to cost more, and it's going to take more time. If it's again something larger painting like this, with a bus and all that, it's not. It's a challenge, but it can be done, and it'll take more time, but it's worth it. So on this note, I will leave you with a couple of enlarged photos I got done recently. I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago or something, like this beautiful 59 Chevy. I took this photo. It's the only enlarged photo like that. I took that in Cuba when I went down there in 2007. I framed this myself. Beautiful old brass frame. Look at that. It's like brand new. And then more recently, another 59 Chevy, but this one in El Camino. That I photographed here in Montreal in the suburbs in Dorval back in 2004 or 3. And that's, again, a used frame that I cleaned it all up inside out. The glass, beautiful item. This Chevy is $100, and this one's $120. So these are unique enlarged photos, professionally processed, just to show you. See, it's a real photo. See, I'm not screwing around. Look, you can tell just by the thickness there. See? So thanks again for watching, guys. Take care. All the best. Subscribe, comment, blah, blah, blah. And I'll see you in the next one. And and by the way, of course, if you want to get in touch with me personally for a painting, a custom painting for yourself, of course, my email is eltonmcfall@hotmail.com, eltonmcfall@hotmail.com. Or, of course, you can find me on Facebook, which is better because then we can text back and forth. So take care. All the best and stay positive. Bye-bye.